Welcome back to the WMMA Today Podcast with Stephen Drake. We have a lot to cover this week. A lot of fights from last week to recap. UFC 237, PFL 1. Coming this week is the One Championship, Enter the Dragon. There's one fight. And then UFC Rochester, there's two fights. But first, we'll start with Invicta 35. Invicta announced this past week that their 35th card is coming on June 7th. Deanna Bennett versus Karina Rodriguez is the main event. It's kind of a weird one, but
the rematch for the title shot, that is official. That is what the idea is here. And as we were saying before we went on air, it's kind of the only option. I mean, we didn't think too hard about what something else could have been. I was a little critical of it at first, thinking it was weak. But options are limited. 2 vacant titles at featherweight and bantamweight right now. Jin Yu Fry, atomweight champ, going over to Japan to try and get a second belt at Ryzen 16. And then Brianna Van Buren, new champ, just fought literally weeks ago. So there's no chance of that. I mean, I guess could have. she probably wouldn't have been opposed to it.
And plus she didn't really get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. And then the champion, Vanessa Porto, they wanted to fight the winner of this. Right. So that's why she's not fighting here. And she did fight on the last event, which is funny. Not the Phoenix Rising one, but the last numbered event to win the title. Yeah, not the greatest headliner, but again, limited options.
But the rest of the card is really good. So
yes, yeah. Overall, this card is fantastic. Makes up for it, really, I think. We got Alicia Zapatel in the co-main event, who is a rising atomweight star.
He's fun.
Yeah. And against Viviane Pereira, who's dropping down.
Yeah, she went down in weight.
Incredibly interesting. One of the kind of thicker, stockier strawweights, I would say.
She's small, though.
Yeah. She's kind of like, I mean, I don't know. She's, definitely smaller, but more compact. See how that weight goes for her. That'll be interesting. Not sure how much she cuts normally, but yeah, that'll be interesting to see how she does there. Very tough first fight for her.
And then what about Murata?
Yeah. Yeah. The Murata Invicta debut. Here it is. And it's gonna be a blood orgy. But yes, that's what I'm most excited for, of course. Very high on Murata. I think she wins this fight. She's getting the title shot. I was wanting her to get the title shot for her debut, but obviously she's looking to fight right here and then turn right around, fight on Ryzen 17. I'm assuming, because I'm pretty sure that's in July. I know they released the schedule.
Yeah, it's in July.
Okay, so yeah, that's her plan
So
there.
A month later, if she doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. We'll see her going back to back. That'll be awesome. Katharina Leonard versus Lisa Spangler has fucking fireworks all over it.
That's the fight that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
Spangler is legit.
Oh yeah,
she's fun, man. But so is Leonard.
Yes, yeah. That's a big time. I don't even want to say sleeper fight, because that one's just such a good style matchup.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one for sure.
Mm-hmm. Spangler repping the PNW out of Gracie Barra, Portland. But yeah, man, she's really rising pretty fast. As rising jokes, we got word jokes, but on the rise after that Shanna Young fight, which was fantastic. And then Caitlin Young is back, taking on formerly Faith Van Duyn, who was supposed to fight on the last card, right? And then injury to her opponent or something.
Yep.
They weren't going to fight each other, were they? Either way, Faith McMahon now she hasn't fought in like 2 years, so very tough fight for her to return to. Caitlin Young, who's on fucking fire right now. That's very exciting. Chelsea Chandler back, very fun fight there. Kelly D'Angelo and Jillian DeCourcy at atom weight, really like that one. Just overall, fantastic card. That kind of you can't complain about the main event because of that. And the one reason though that I do like the main event fight, not as a main event, but even though it was part of the tournament, we knew this was going to happen after Invicta 34. I like Bennett versus Rodriguez just because it gives Rodriguez the chance to avenge what I think was a very clear robbery in their first fight. I thought Karina won that 30-27, but the fucking Missouri State Athletic Commission is going to do its thing.
Yeah, well,
so that's good fun.
This time they're in Kansas City, Kansas.
Yes, we're in Kansas this time, hopefully. Man, I'm pretty sure I did say this after. I've said it before, but I like Deanna Bennett. It's hard not to. She's a very likable person. Sure. And she was really one of my sleepers when she was coming up, when she was undefeated, kind of like a dark horse. I mean, not a sleeper. But man, she might be like the one fighter in Invicta who she might have like the record for most robberies. Like most people would agree that a lot of her fights have been robberies. Like I remember Katja Konkampa's last fight was against Bennett, and man, that was sad to see her. She retired after that one and she lost, but man, I really think she won that one as well. I don't know if you remember that one, but yeah, just like Bennett just knows how to get the judges on her side, I guess. Usually in Missouri though, so we'll see here.
But she stays busy, so it's like a deceiving type of win,
Yeah.
She deceives.
Well, they're quote wins, yeah.
Right. Of the judges.
Mm-hmm.
So Rodriguez actually just needs to stay busier than Bennett, and she'll probably get the win.
Yeah, no, I think in a rematch she's going to make some very proper adjustments.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting from that aspect. But as for just the rest of the card, very excited for that. Obviously, as a singular thing I'm looking most forward to, that's obviously Murata. No surprise there if you follow our show or follow me in general. As a fight though, yeah, it's hard not to be most excited for Leonard and Spangler.
For sure. That's the fight that I'm most excited for, but I'm also really hyped about Alicia Zabatella. I think she's a star in the making. It's kind of a bummer that the UFC and Bellator, they don't have atom weights, because she would be a star right now being there. But we can see her in Ryzen eventually, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, she's definitely got that kind of potential to be on that level. And Invicta sees that too, obviously.
Yeah, they do. She's co-main event right now.
Yeah. And even though I think that Lanner and Spangler is the most fun fight I'm most looking forward to, I will say I think Zapatella Pereira is the most intriguing. Just, Viviani going down, Zapatella in general, the matchup. It's a very, very interesting one. Aside from Murata as my single point of most excitement, I think, I just love Caitlin Young's comeback in late in her career. It's always great to see. It's great to see her back and thriving, and coming back after a really nasty injury. This time, Lomo Lukabunme is also back. I know I might be forgetting or thinking wrong, but her last fight didn't go as according to plan. So it'll be fun to see her try and rebound here. That Chelsea Chandler fight is also a sleeper for she's a Stockton girl, I believe, unless I'm getting somebody mixed up. The Stockton girl, so always in wars she is.
Yep.
That's just how it goes. 209 represent. But yeah, man, really love this card as a whole.
Yeah, me too. It's a good one. From the co-main event to the bottom, I think is really good. The main event, I think it's kind of it has to happen.
Yeah, it's just kind of it's the timing thing, really. That's the only way to put it.
Yeah.
Because,
So overall, it's okay, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it should still be. I'm still gonna watch it. Let's put it that way. I'm not gonna fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a dumb thing to say because it's not just even if there's a fucking fight that I hate, I'm still gonna watch it unless it's like some CM Punk garbage. Even though I did watch both of his fights too.
I'm pretty sure you watched those too.
Let's put it this way: Logan Paul fight. Then I'm not watching that.
I watched that too.
Yeah, you did. I did not. I guess that's a pretty big exception, though. So
I mean, fuck, I watched WWE, so
yeah, no
anything close to fighting, I'll watch.
There it is.
All right, so UFC Sacramento has 2 fights. Nico Montano is back. She is fighting Sarah McMahon, and then Cynthia Calvillo is fighting Olivia Souza. So let's start with Nico Montano and Sarah McMahon.
Mm-hmm. You know when we talked about this, what was it, 2 weeks ago? It might even have been last week. Either way, when we did talk about what who might be welcoming Nico back, I did not at all think of Sarah McMahon. Didn't even cross my mind because she's also been away, right. Because she had a baby.
She had a baby, yeah.
Congratulations to Sarah. I love Sarah. So yeah, didn't even think about it. But now that this is happening, I'm like, this is probably the best thing that we could have got. I mean, I think that it's a really tough fight for Nico, just because Sarah is one of the biggest, strongest wrestlers in the division, which is what we were talking about. Like, will be a problem for her coming back or going forward as a bantamweight.
Yep.
So that I'm like a little bit worried for Nico.
Tough. It's tough. 135. They got some strong girls, man.
Yeah. Sarah's one of the strongest.
Yeah, she's not like she isn't used to fighting on 135.
Yeah, and but I will say, I mean, if she's going to have her best chance here against someone like Sarah McMahon, it's catching her off of a year and a half layoff or something like that, coming back from a pregnancy, which is a lot different than just taking time off. Really changes the body and all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think this time. I know this is another timing thing. This is where this fight's the most interesting. Like if this was fucking Sarah coming back a month and a half after her last fight against Renault, I believe, then I think Nico would be in extra trouble. But no, this is kind of prolonged and all that good stuff for both of them. So I think it's a lot more even than it could have been, if this would have happened at any different time in the past. So yeah, it's going to be super interesting to see. I mean, I got to lean towards Sarah just because stylistically. But yeah, man, I don't know. I matchmaking wise, I think this is probably the best thing you could have done because Sarah's a name. If Nico gets the win here, then she's right where she belongs with her own namesake, right in the top 10. Because I think Sarah is actually still ranked despite being inactive for so long.
Yep.
Because fucking UFC rankings, But yeah. So.
Then if Sarah McMahon wins, she beat a former champion.
And yeah, she's right back in the mix.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird, man. UFC actually doing some perfect matchmaking for once. I mean, I think I say that for once and like they're doing more of it because I think that just to throw it out there, Nate Diaz and Anthony Pettis, flawless matchmaking. Big ups to them. There it is.
Look at Stockton versus everybody, motherfucker.
I didn't even notice that. That's perfect. But yeah, I mean, good job. I'm going to give UFC props for these recent fights being made.
For sure. I mean, other than Frankie Edgar, right?
Yes, aside from that one, which,
right.
Yeah.
Because Volkanovski deserves that shot. Let's be fucking real. Volkanovski deserves that shot, but also, I mean, we didn't know.
And this is also assuming that they don't make Joanna and Andrade anytime soon. We'll get into that later.
Should I even? Like,
we'll get to that. But also at Sacramento, Calvillo and Olivia Hanata Souza.
Good fucking fight, dude.
Good fight. Also, good enough matchmaking. I'll give this an above decent rating on matchmaking. I don't think it's perfect because I would have. Why the fuck not remake that Carla fight? I mean, why not? I mean, because Livia still deserves that fight. Livia is, I think, my number 12 ranked in the world. She's no doubt about it. Top 15 strawweight worldwide. Anyone who knows about her will agree with that. And she better be favored in this fight with Calvillo because
she won't be because Calvillo's at home.
Yeah, that plus Calvillo's more well known, but man, very tough fight for Calvillo. And a fun matchup though. I think that Calvillo can put up a fight 100%, but man, people still learn about Olivia Souza, and she got they dragged out her first two, mishandled her completely in her first two fights, just unnecessary fights to have. Thankfully, she got the win over someone who weighed at flyweight in her last fight against Sarah Frota. But yeah, it's good to see her get someone with a name after supposed to be fighting someone with a name. I still would have made that Carla fight. This one, I'm fine with. Not what I would have made, but good matchmaking, good style.
Good fight. So yeah. I'm perfectly fine with this fight.
Yeah.
Calvillo, she's down. She's down to throw down with whomever, and I mean, this is a good test for her. I think because it's a very tough opponent for her.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, no, it will be fun. That's for sure. But still, people still learning about Lavinia Souza. She's a bad bitch. She'll admit it.
She's kind of slept on.
Yeah, and that's again because of the UFC, man. How they fucking mishandled her in her first two fights.
Right.
Like, dude, we saw that she should not have been fighting Alex Chambers in her debut. I mean, and that was right after. That was after she beat the greatest atomweight of all time. That was right after she knocked out Ayaka Hamasaki. Fucking ignorant booking, just complete. I can't speak bad about it enough. But thankfully, 2 fights into the UFC now, and they get it. They matched her with Carla, that fell through. Now they're matching with Calvillo, who's got a name. They really like Calvillo for good reason.
Like Calvillo.
So
that's why they put her on the Sacramento card too.
I can't complain here. I'm
honestly surprised that they didn't put Montano on the San Antonio card, seeing that she's from New Mexico.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And they're a week apart.
They're a week apart, right? That's why I'm like, I wonder if they just want to get her, kind of further away from home for her first fight back. Not as close to San Antonio.
Well, yeah, this is more of a home game for McMahon in this case because of the Team Alpha Male. So it's like, that's probably why they did it, because they fucking don't like Nico anymore.
It's possible. It's possible. Who the fuck knows what the UFC is thinking these days. All right, so speaking of UFC San Antonio, Liz Carmouche is fighting Roxanne Modafferi. It's a damn good fight. I was like, when I saw that fight was made, I was like, shit, okay. I like that fight,
Yeah, this is another surprisingly good matchmaking. Of course, I'm very vocal about Carmouche being the number 1 flyweight right now. And then Roxy, has always been one of the best. And finally, I've noticed after this Antonina win, she's actually getting respected. It's incredible.
Definitely getting respect. Which is about fucking time. It's been a long time for her, man.
But it's hilarious that it took for this fight that she should have won in hindsight. I mean, I knew it. I know that you didn't think it was going to happen. You understood, though, that it could have happened because you're an intellectual. That's what I'll put it that way. But, like,
very nice of you.
It's funny. Yeah, you're welcome, bro. Hashtag WMMA Today. One love. But no, it's hilarious to me that it took this fight, a matchup that shouldn't even have been made, the Antonina fight. We knew that was an obvious fast tracking. It took this one. I've seen comments now where people are like, fucking are excited to see Roxy. They're not saying she sucks. They're like, it's so funny, man. How
it's crazy because she's
before that she was getting slaughtered,
fighting forever.
Yep. She's probably, I I feel pretty comfortable saying this is the most experienced fighter at flyweight. I mean, record-wise, and most fights and all that, I've been fighting since
Now the Barb Honchak is gone.
04. Yeah, now that Honchak's gone. Even then. But yeah, as for this matchup with Carmouche, yeah, not terribly mad at it because fucking, again, another ridiculous. It's weird. They've done a big 180 here recently, in these last couple of days. Carmouche's last fight was
this past week.
yeah.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves and be like, UFC matchmaking is the greatest thing in the world. Okay, they had a good week.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, give it time. I'm not going to jump the gun here. But yeah, because Carmouche's last fight, like Roxy's, should not have been made. Much worse matchmaking up. The poodle of a fight was complete and utter nonsense after beating Jennifer Maia. Just fucking insane. So yeah, this is progress. We're making progress here. And by the UFC's rankings, if we're gonna take those into account here,
we don't.
First, yeah, I know we don't, but if we're going to, it's Liz's first ranked opponent, which is good that they're doing that. And then honestly, man, probably not going to be the case unless Caitlin Chukagian beats JoJo at UFC 238. Because if JoJo wins, she's probably going to get the next title shot. But if JoJo loses, this fight is for the next title shot, especially if Liz wins, I think. And in the perfect world, in my perfect world, Carmouche winning gets her the title shot. So yeah, I think it's fine. It's going to be a very grappling heavy matchup. There's just no doubt about it.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's going to the ground for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's both of their fortes.
Yeah.
Problem is here, massive strength advantage for Carmouche, which I think is what
strength advantage.
Yeah. So
because she's incredibly strong. I mean, not that Modafferi isn't. But Modafferi is more.
Carmouche is probably the strongest person in the division, though, bro. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think so. But Modafferi is more like
technique and
technical, and like she'll get into. She's flexible, and she'll kind of move her body around, and
that sweep though.
Huh? What's that?
That sweep though.
Oh yeah, the sweep, exactly, the sweep on fucking Shevchenko.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. Ground battle, all the scramble potential, but yeah, as an early prediction, I mean, I can't not lean towards Carmouche just because.
Yeah,
I think the muscling, she'll just be able to muscle her a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, she's just
Roxy's so game though, man.
Fuck yeah, she is. She wants to fight like every couple of months now.
Yeah.
Well,
it's crazy. She was
in her prior one.
Yeah, I mean, she was fairly inactive until that Eubanks rematch, because she had only fought Barb, before that and before returning to the UFC. So yeah, she's getting more active now, which is great to see. And it's funny. I think this is probably the first fight I picked against Barb. I don't pick against Roxy often. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, maybe I'll be surprised this time. But
yeah, I mean,
not bad matchmaking.
No, I liked it. All right, so let's go recaps. We'll start with UFC 237. I guess we have to start with the championship fight, right? Jessica Andrade beat Rose.
Do we? Can we go bottom to top?
Jessica Andrade beat Rose Namajunas round number 2 by a vicious fucking slam. Rose's head hit the mat and she fucking retired.
That is a fantastic opening. That's might be the best opening you've done for a fight recap. Golf clap. But here I'll start off my post-fight analysis with a question/story. So I have a very awkward memory, I guess we could say. But there, back in my forum dwelling days on SureDog, there was a thread that I made that was titled, "What is the best performance of a fighter's career like their overall best performance that was in a loss. Like even though they lost, it was their best overall performance. So that's my question to the viewers and listeners today. What do you think that is? And for me, I think that you could
think it's
very
Rose?
much argue that
That
was
whole
Rose's
first round.
best performance of her career. Yes, because holy shit, dude! Within that first minute, I was like, oh my god, man, Andrade's fucked, man. She's not
It
going to
was a
win this.
clinic.
Within the first minute,
It was a boxing
She-
clinic.
yeah, she was just so on point. That was crazy. I mean, completely opposite of what I expected.
Andrade was bleeding.
Yeah, she fucked her up, dude.
It was
She
from
dropped her.
punches.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. She just looked so smooth. Yeah, and even we mentioned it before going on air. The two slams, which the one was the finisher, but the one before that in the first round, Rose defended with the Kimura. It was exactly the same situation, except she didn't get fucking just destroyed. So the first one, she really did a great job there.
Well, she grabbed the Kimura.
Yeah. It was a lot tighter. It was a lot better defense that time around. And there was even a point where she briefly hit a takedown. Andrade defended really nicely. Didn't even land on her back, but I think she got sat down for a brief moment from what I remember. Just, man, that round was just a master class. I can't say anything better about it, but that's like my initial thoughts. And, after really thinking about it more and more and talking to some people close to Andrade, the game plan, though, was because, Andrade's usual game plan, just that bulldozer that we're used to, just fucking smashing, coming forward, John Lineker-esque. But this time, she didn't really do that. And I thought, man, this is Rose neutralizing that, really impressively, which, I still think that's a little bit of what happened. But at the same time, Andrade was more reserved, whether that was Rose or her own doing. I think it's definitely a mixture of both. But that was the game plan, according to Andrade and her camp, which I can see because in the second round, she turned it up a lot more, kind of let Rose definitely style on her, which turned out to be kind of risky, but it paid off big time. Because, man, I think that going through a title fight once already was massive for Andrade to get that experience, go full 5, get outclassed in that whole 5 against Joanna, and really just kind of just develop over time and prepare for this moment super well. And I think it shows how good they both are because, man, Rose's stock does not go down at all. I don't think that anyone should say that. That's just kind of ridiculous. And Andrade, who knows if she didn't get the knockout with that slam? There were 3 more rounds, man. There is still a lot of fight left. I mean,
a ton of fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, and like you said, we saw the best from Rose in that first round. We saw the best Rose in that first round.
Yeah.
That's what's tough is and then she got dipped on her head. And fucking that was it. That was a wrap.
Yeah, man, also, I mean, man, that might have been arguably definitely one of the nastiest knockouts I've ever seen. That was scary. That was a scary moment, man.
You legit have to be worried for Rose's neck and her head,
Her neck primarily. Yeah. I was like, oh fuck, man.
When a person gets slammed on their fucking head, you have to legit fucking,
and goes out too.
By the way, it was perfectly legal.
I was just gonna get to this.
There was absolutely nothing wrong. It was a perfectly legal slam. It's not like she picked her up and slammed her on her head. No, Rose's head kind of fucking twerked a little bit, and
yeah. When it comes to that and the legality of slams and spiking, that's the thing. Slams are legal. Right. That's the thing. Spiking,
he did not spike her on her head.
Spiking is illegal.
Her head did not go like this. Her head kind of went like this. where it turned.
She landed on the side of her head. That's
Yeah.
the thing. A
Yeah.
spike is on directly the top of your head where it
Right.
compresses your fucking neck into your goddamn. Just, you know, for those listening, I'm like squishing my head. Yeah, like the best example I can think of is something similar to when Vitor Belfort had John Jones in that armbar. He was pretty much vertical. Yeah, vertically downward, you know, and his head, Jones was kind of dropping him a little bit to get out of the armbar, and he was getting warmed there because that was very spike-like. I'd have to rewatch it. I don't think it was perfectly like dead center just on the top of his head. But another good example is Bob Sapp and Big Nog, where he fucking pretty much pile drove him like straight up a WWE move for the most.
He did. That was definitely like a pile driver. But also, Rampage Jackson used to fucking slam the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
Continuously. And he never got disqualified because of that. They're legal. There's a difference between a slam and a spike.
Yes. And I think that if you want to see things that are very close to illegal or an example of a spike, because I can't say that. I know I've seen a spike before, like on Twitter.
I mean, it doesn't happen
very often
because they're athletes, you know.
Yeah, tucking your head is easy to do for the most part.
Right.
But when it comes to a near illegal example, look at those two, the Sapp and Nogueira and Belfort Jones. I think
I think Nogueira was pretty damn close to being illegal, though, you know.
That one was gnarly
because it was like a fucking pro wrestling move.
Yeah. The point is, though, when it comes to like positional landings, those two far worse than what happened to Rose. Yeah. The thing that makes the Rose one so nasty is the just the impact of it, I think. And I mean, the angle was pretty brutal looking too, especially on slow motion. But man, just the force that Andrade can generate.
Andrade was fucking strong as fuck, man. Like like you said, she's like a bulldozer. She literally brings all of her power into everything that she throws, and that's literally everything. That's a slam, that's a punch, that's a kick. It doesn't matter what it is. She brings that power with everything.
Yeah. Also,
she's like a mini Amanda Nunes. Nunes is the same way. Like, she brings the power with everything.
Yeah. Except we don't see that kind of stuff from Nunes, which is crazy too. But also, I mean,
fighting bigger chicks too.
Yeah. Rose didn't let go of the Kimura. I mean, that's also in the rules. Or I think it is a part of the rules. I mean, it's actually something I'm a little confused on. But you know, the referees do tell you let go of a submission attempt if you're getting picked up and want to avoid being, you know, jacked up like that. Because then Rose has zero defense from that impact because she's got her arms focused on, you know, the target. And yeah, I think that the fact that she did hang on to that definitely did not help. I mean, because it gave Andrade that ability to, you know, to really whip her and have her way with her.
Yeah, I agree.
And especially after having gone through the same exact situation the round before, she made the proper adjustment. I mean, I saw Bisping today. And he thought it was a little bit fluky, which I understand what he's saying because of how good Rose was looking.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. That wasn't like a lucky punch, I don't think. Andrade, you know, she's done that plenty of times. We've seen that against damn near every opponent. She's fought Tisha, Claudia. The only person we haven't seen it against, like Jessica Penne or Carolina, because she was beating them up so bad on the feet. But even Joanna, she was able to slam dude, and that was a loss. Like, I don't think it's a fluke, but Rose still looked amazing, and I understand people are upset because of that.
I think it's because also I think people are upset because Rose is like a rose. She's very, she's very pretty and like nice and kind, and her name is Thug Rose, but she doesn't come off as being like, I mean, doesn't have much of an attitude. She's reserved though and quiet, but she's like, she was blossoming into a rose.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that rose gets slammed on her fucking head. And it's like, oh my God.
I like how you put that though. Because, she is just a nice person in general.
Yeah. And she's like really caring, like, like she has a great heart.
Like all the hate that has come for her is not about her personality or anything. And I mean, the hate that has come for her is also stupid in the first place. But
it's all fucking nonsense.
But to bring Livia Souza back into the conversation, let's just say that if that was Livia who got that, who is notable for being kind of an asshole personality, like she's flips off like all of her opponents and gets in their face at the weigh-ins, like that's like what she was infamous for in Invicta and all that. Just one of those people, just kind of mean, what the Brazilian gangster, as Laura Sanko calls her.
I like her.
Yeah, I mean, if that would have happened to her, everybody would not be giving a fuck. They would be happy. Good job, Andrade. It's just so what's the word I'm looking for? Double standards, So
yeah. All right, so let's get on. Okay, so Michelle Waters. She was in Rio, and why was she there in the first place? Why was she there? Why was she sitting cage side? It could have been a couple different other people that could have been there, not named Michelle Watterson. And now people are talking about her deserving the championship fight against Andrade now, and she even put it out there herself. It's like, dude, come on. Whoa, hold up. You're number 7 right now. You're on a 3-win fight streak, but so is everybody else who's above you.
Some even longer.
Right. There's people who actually would be a really good fight for her. I mean, it wouldn't be a good fight for her. That might be
a fun, logical.
Yeah, it's logical. And to be honest, Joanna is a logical fight for her.
Yes. That's what I like. I like Joanna versus Watterson and Rose versus Wiley. That's what I want.
Those all make sense because Ansarov and Tatiana Suarez is already happening. And the winner of that fight should go on to fight Andrade.
Undeniably.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I think that Watterson is second in line. And I totally get everything you're saying. Totally agree. Did you see me tweet out when I think it was right before Andrade and Namajunas started, the camera panned to Watterson, and I was like, oh, they're gonna give Watterson title shot next, aren't they?
Tough, like she shouldn't even been there. Like, I mean, it's all marketability. She's
the shittiest thing.
Good-looking mom, it's like she's like Rose. She's funny, goofy, like kind and stuff. And like, I get it, she's marketable, but I mean, you kind of got to get away from the marketability thing and give it to the people who actually deserve it. Yeah,
I mean, she's finally getting on her way. I've been very critical of her UFC career prior to this winning streak,
and you have been more critical than I have been.
Yes, much more.
And now I'm more critical about this than you are. What you are.
It's funny. The roles reverse in this sport so fast, but yeah, man, it's really, 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 really shitty for Suarez and Ansarov, because I think this is how it's going to go. I think that Suarez has to win impressively for her to get the title shot now. And if Ansarov wins by any means necessary, if she fucking knocks her out in like 5 seconds, she's not going to get it, even though she's Amanda Nunes' girlfriend. She's just Nina Ansarov. She's not, even though she'll be on a 5-fight winning streak after that.
Yeah, she's at 4 right now.
Suarez, the first loss of her career. I just feel like how the UFC is doing things, in regards to Watterson. And even after Watterson beat Carolina, they were like, title shot, is this? What's next? So like they planted this seed weeks ago.
Oh, this has been planted definitely. But the final thing was sending her to Rio.
Yeah.
That's what you do with contenders. That's what you do with the contenders is they're there cage side, and then you like fucking that Brock Lesnar thing with DC. He was there for what? And then he went into the cage and shit. Like that was the seed. What you were saying, that was the seed. The same thing with Watterson. That was the real planting of the seed. That was to put her face on the screen, the TV screen, so that the rest of the world can see she's next. Or she's not.
Yeah, man, it's fucking rough. I mean, it's just like it's so obvious to like everyone who's not like fanboys and all that shit, who's not just completely biased. I mean, Suarez and Ansarov, you just look at where they are, what they've done. Even I've seen people, some people also saying this week, like, oh, Suarez, she's kind of getting pushed a little quick. I can see the argument there. Okay. I mean, what her only top 10 win is over Carla, right? Yeah, that's the only one. Incredibly dominant though. But if she beats
the former champion.
Yeah. If she beats Nina though, who's on this fantastic winning streak, top 3, top 4. Yeah, top 4. I mean, dude, like then it's as justifiable as it can be. I mean, yeah, you just. And then if Nina wins and goes on to 5 and then hands that person Suarez, her first loss, it's just like, dude, what? Come on, let's get away from this nonsense. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's tough, man. Because I mean, it's tough. I don't like that they actually planted her in Rio. Yeah. Like they put her in that screen, and then she got on after the fight. She got on her own thing, Instagram live or something, and she was like, "I'm next." And
yeah, I mean,
that took off on social media, and fucking now people are writing that shit because I mean she's a good-looking woman, and she's a mom, and she's very likable.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't blame her for doing that. Of course, that's what she wants. But
yeah, I mean, how can you blame a fighter for doing that? You have to push yourself because the UFC doesn't push you. Yeah,
I mean, they're pushing her, but yeah, you're totally right. For when it comes to your average, your usual contender. I mean, let's look at a recent example in Rafael Assunção, who's a good example of somebody who incredibly deserving but never got it, and then he ended up losing. So
yeah,
it's just one of those fucking things, politics.
Definitely,
but yeah. Hands down, we agree here that, that's the rightful one. And judging by polls, a lot of people don't agree with that, which is fucking silly.
It definitely so that UFC poll, they sent out a poll of who's next for the to fight Andrade. Dude, the winner of Nina Ansaroff and Tatiana Suarez out of 4 came in the lowest. That's like fucking mind blowing to me.
Filthy casuals.
And then I think Joanna was number 1.
It was her or Rose.
Was it Rose?
It was one of them. I know they were the top 2.
Yeah,
because the third person was
Joanna, and then it was Watterson.
Yeah, fucking. Which I mean, Joanna's shouldn't even be on that list. I got into an argument sort of with some people on Twitter the other day.
She's fucking 1-3 in her last fucking 4 fights. Like,
yeah, I know. Because my argument here was Suarez, Ansarov, Watterson, and Zhang are all ahead of Joanna in the contender race. Not even a question.
But the thing with Joanna is she's ranked number 1 in their rankings.
Oh wow!
I mean, she hasn't dropped, so that's people pay attention to the rankings, dude. No matter what you or I feel about the rankings, people pay attention to them on a weekly basis, and they watch, and they see Joanna up there all the time, every week, week after week.
And they know her. Yeah.
They know her. She's been a 2-time champion. She's very likable. You know, she's that likable
popularity contest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just not the move, man. No. I mean, in my perfect world, it's Andrade versus the winner of Suarez Ansarov, and then you can kind of mix and match things here. But I think that best options, it's kind of assuming what goes on with Rose next. But I like Rose versus Wiley. I think that's fucking really fun. I mean, Wiley kind of wants that Joanna fight, which that'd be cool too. But I pick it this way: Waterston versus Joanna, and then Wiley versus Rose. Because if you switch that, then we'll get Waterston Rose rematch. Which I'm like, we can wait maybe a couple more fights for that. We don't exactly need to do that next. I wouldn't be mad at it, but if I was going to keep things the freshest possible, that's how I would do it.
That would also be a good fight for Waterston to see how she does against a former champion.
Yeah, either of them. I mean, I think that the worst thing they could do is probably, do like Waterston versus Wiley, and then Joanna title shot, and then maybe Rose versus the winner of Suarez Ansarov. Some fucking bullshit right there. Just even though that'd be a fun fight, that Suarez or an Ansarov versus Rose would be fun. But it's like, and so would Waterston and Zhang. I mean, strawweight's good enough to where all these fights are going to be fantastic. But when it comes to how things should go and all the map and the streets lead to where, you got to do the top fighters who are fighting for the contender spot.
because otherwise, what is the point of your rankings?
Yeah, I mean, Nina's 2 right now, I'm pretty sure. Honestly, I think it's
3.
Or no, Suarez is 2, and then Ansarov's 3.
Right, Suarez is 2, Ansarov is 3.
I mean, it's not like they're fucking 5 and 6, which then UFC could
Waterston
be like,
is the one that's low 7.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's closer to 10 than it is 1.
Yeah, true. She's even behind Wiley, isn't she? Because Wiley's 6.
6. Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of really shows you. I mean, Waterston, I'd have to check my rankings, but that might be where I have her too. That just shows you the popularity thing, dude.
For sure.
It really does.
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely a popularity contest when it comes to the rankings and like pushing people up and moving down and stuff. Who's hot right now?
Yeah, but we'll fucking see. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt
it could turn into something beautiful, and it could turn into a fucking mess.
Yeah. I mean, I doubt that there'll be anything after a week already, but shameless plug of the week on a new Andrade champ interview coming out hopefully next week. So yeah, I doubt that I'll hear anything from her about fucking the next fight this soon, but we'll see. So yeah, we'll see what happens next. Strawweight.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so Irina Aldana, she beat the overweight Betch Correa. Not only did she get 30% of her purse, she got moved up to the pay-per-view, and she won by a round 3 armbar. So it was a damn good weekend for Irina Aldana.
Yeah, this was really interesting, though. This fight ended up being a lot more competitive than I thought it would be because first round, all Aldana. That was what we were expecting, you know. Put on that fucking showcase. Second round, though, Betch really rebounded and figured out timing and the range very well, which was very impressive by Betch. I think she absolutely won that round. Surprisingly, though, the judges, all 3 judges, had Irene up 20-18 going into the third.
I don't think so. I think that it was probably 1-1 going in the third, and then up until that armbar, you can give it to Betch.
Yep, I was going to say that too. Yeah.
I mean, was Irene losing? Yeah, I think she actually probably was fucking losing that round.
Yeah, I mean, technically going by the cards, she wasn't apparently, but
No,
man,
but
man,
I think she was.
yeah, absolutely. I had Betch winning second, and then all that third until she brain farted, man, and went for a takedown. Um, yeah, so it's kind of a double edged sword here because Irene, she did what she was going to do, supposed to do in that first round, and then got figured out. Not good. You don't like to see that, but the ability to capitalize on a mistake, that's what you like to see as well. And really saved. I mean, she technically didn't even save herself, which is frustrating, going by the judges because, we want fairness here and all that stuff. And it's funny because people like to give flack to the Brazilian Commission, for being biased towards their fighters, but they're going the opposite way here. I think by most people's accord, they would say that
Yeah.
Betch was taking this towards the end. But yeah, Irene still won fair and square. So that's kind of the most important thing.
I mean, she finished the fight, so.
Yeah, and she did say it best, I think.
You can't argue against that. She finished the fight.
Yeah, we can argue with these fucking cards, though. But she...
You definitely can argue against the scorecards.
Yeah. I think that Aldana did say it good, though, in her post-fight interview. She was like, people are always so focused on my boxing because, it's what I'm known for. I'm a great striker and all that. And it's true. It's true. But we do forget, and she points it out, she's like, people forget, though, that I have plenty of submissions, from like Invicta and stuff, and I know how to do that.
She does, but she's known as a boxer, and she actually showed that in the first round.
Yeah, that round was, after that second round, I was like, okay, she's really going to turn it up here and really, probably take Betch to town. But man, yeah, no, it was really, I got to give Betch props though for her ability to really adjust as the fight went on. It was really surprising. So
I think it probably helped a lot that she didn't cut those extra 5 pounds.
That's true.
Or even try to cut those extra 5 pounds. She just went up to the scales and she was probably like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make this weight, so why even try?
Yeah, let's
harm my body,
Yeah, let's touch on that real quick. I mean,
yeah, it's tough to see a fighter for the opponent go through this weight cut, go through the motions, make weight, and then all of a sudden your opponent just comes in overweight by a lot of pounds. That's tough. But Aldana got the 30% from Correa, and she got the win. And she got to on the pay-per-view, on the main card.
Yeah, man. 5 pounds for a full training camp is absolutely inexcusable.
I agree.
I mean, Jesus, that's like short notice shit, and you can be like, okay, still very bad, but I get it, I guess. Yeah, that's just absolute nonsense. So I don't know. I'm sure she might have some injury excuse for it or something like that, just because, I don't know. Either way, you got to fucking make weight, especially when you have a fucking full camp.
And she didn't travel. She didn't have these traveling issues that fighters have, where she's away from home and she's not familiar with the foods and whatever else they have issues, they have issues with. No, she was literally at home.
Yeah. It's that was ridiculous to see, but yeah, I don't know. She's back. Maybe it'll be better next time. So I don't know. Her arm might be fucked up though, because Aldana, she also said that she heard like the cracking. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. Either way, Irene keeps on keeping on 3 in a row. First finish in the UFC.
Looks good.
Looking good. Fan of hers. Love seeing her succeed. Will be interesting to see what's next. Top 10 now.
Yeah.
I think her and Yana would be really fun. Stylistically, very similar. Obviously,
it would be a stand-up fight.
Yeah. Irene, more boxing oriented, and Yana uses kicks a bit more, but pretty similar movement wise. Yeah,
she'll try to clinch against the cage. She would be the bigger fighter, so she would push her up against the cage and use the Muay Thai.
Yeah, I like that one. Next, possibly.
That'd be a good fight.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see.
All right, so Luana Carolina beat Priscilla Cachoeira by unanimous decision. We both had Cachoeira winning that fight.
No, I had Carolina.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. I thought Carolina. No. Oh, whoops. I meant Cachoeira. Whoops. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely. I thought Cachoeira, and honestly, I think that this fight, for the most part, it went kind of how I expected, at least, except Luana's moments of success were a lot more significant. Like, I knew that, and her ability to work against Priscilla's pressure, she did a lot better than I expected her to in that regard, which was kind of the game changer. But other than that, I didn't see anything too unexpected. Priscilla got a whole lot of shit on social media after this fight.
Yeah.
And
probably deservedly so.
I mean, to be honest here, if we're going to kind of group into the last recap, I think that, I hate to be overly negative or anything like that on fighters, but man, Bernardo is one of the least, let's use nice words, the least good fighters on the roster, probably, because she is like strictly jiu-jitsu. I think she's worse than Priscilla, honestly. I was just gonna say it, but yeah, when it comes to, I was seeing Priscilla get a whole lot of shit, and I still gave her a round in this fight. I gave her the first round, but then she got 10-8'd in the second round. Man, she's so fucking tough, dude. It is insane how fucking tough she is.
Yeah.
I mean, that head kick she took, just.
I mean, she has that zombie nickname for a reason.
Yeah, man. But that could have been her last fight, which sucks. So, but Luana, like I said last week in the breakdown, when she's able to really utilize her game, and her striking is very precise when she has the freedom to use it. And she did good. Still, she did better on the back foot than I expected with that pressure. So
I agree.
A solid debut. Nonetheless, there. Let's put it that way. But then the fucking best debut, arguably ever, goes to Vivian.
Crazy, to be honest. Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude.
That overhand, right?
I mean, and not to discredit her victory by really putting down Bernardo there, but you got to consider all the factors here. This is a goddamn strawweight. She looked amazing. The power she had as somebody who didn't have to cut any weight. I mean, this is
and on what, 4-day notice?
Yes. I mean, dude, flawless victory. And she even defended the areas, the takedowns. She was on top. It was a perfect win. I mean, really,
it was.
Bernardo could not do anything. I mean, she was finding more strikes towards the end of the fight, but nothing too crazy. Arajo though, dude, like, holy shit. And I get it. I get why she wants to go back to strawweight or whatever, but like, my argument here is like, why, when you just looked like that, why not stay at bantamweight or at least flyweight? Why go back?
Maybe flyweight.
I think that'd be perfect if she was going to go all the way down, because like strawweight doesn't need her. I mean, UFC flyweight still kind of working itself out, especially towards the back end. So it's like, man. But either way, holy shit, dude! What a fun fighter to watch going forward. It'll be really, really interesting to see some matchups with her.
Yeah, that right was.
Oh, Jesus!
She landed it perfectly. Obviously, I mean it.
Finished her out.
Yeah, finished the fight, but it was like perfectly timed and executed.
Yeah, phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
I really mean it when they say arguably best fucking debut, UFC debut ever, dude. Just considering the fact that she was a strawweight. Like, that's where she normally fights, and we talked about that before. Thought the size would be a big difference. Hell no, man. She did not look all that outsized at all. And then the speed was just completely on her side.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, gosh. That was a performance. I mean, fantastic way to start the night off too.
All right, so that's it for UFC 237. Moving on to PFL 1. So there's really only the two fighters that it's probably going to come down to. I mean, Kayla Harrison beat Larissa Pacheco by unanimous decision. Sarah Kaufman beat Morgan Fryer by the round one arm triangle. Bobby Joe Dalziel beat Jenna Fabian unanimous decision, and then Roberta Samad beat Mariela Chemesky by unanimous decision. We'll start with Kayla Harrison. She actually didn't look like this crazy beast.
Yeah.
You know, she looked like that she was beatable at some point in that fight. And that's why she was kind of hard on herself after the fight too. She has such high expectations for herself that she walked out like she lost, which she didn't. She didn't. She won that fight.
Clearly.
Yeah. It was definitely a unanimous decision, but she's like so hard on herself because that's the inner competitor in her.
Oh yeah.
She wanted to finish that fight, but Pacheco was tough.
Yeah, and I mean, we knew she would be, but yeah, man. I mean, if you want the definition of a competitor and you want to look it up in the dictionary, you'll see Kayla Harrison because insane. Yeah, she was like weeping afterwards after a clear victory. Really, you know,
which is a bummer because she did so well in that cage. You know, that was only her third professional fight. Fourth professional fight.
Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, it was still, it's crazy. It was crazy to say this, you know, it was her worst performance of her career, but still a clear win, right? Like exactly. When you compare to the other three. But you know, it's like, it's going to happen, you know, get it out of the way. Now the rest can be all back to ridiculousness.
But will it be though? Because she might have to face Sarah Kaufman.
Well, that's the thing here. I texted you right after that. You remember? And I was like, yo, Sarah's finishing everybody in this tournament, not named Kayla Harrison.
Right.
And even that could be a maybe. Because, Jesus, you know, 20 pounds ain't shit for Kaufman, as we saw. Like, dude, she's just on another level compared to these chicks. Just the experience is
superior.
I mean, gosh. If there was a way I was going to expect her to win, it wouldn't have been by submission, you know, as we talked about the power going up. But even you could see for a while this fight was on the feet, the just the technique and crispness in her striking was so much better than Fryer's. And then the power, you didn't really get to see how much of a powered boost that she got, I don't think. But still, dude, she had no trouble whatsoever in this fight. If she's either gonna win it all or, you know, be going against Kayla. I will say though that if somebody else is gonna give her trouble, I mean, obviously Kayla for the obvious reasons, her strength and grappling. Samad though is quite large. Yeah. We texted about that too.
Definitely, she's a big woman.
But yeah, that fight wasn't amazingly impressive because Chartanesky, I'm not too great, to be honest. Probably the weakest link in this whole tournament, without a doubt, actually. But yeah, Samad, very big grappler. I think her and Kayla, they're very interesting matchup leading to like the finals and all that. We'll see how it shakes out though. Dalziel, you know, was all right. That was fairly competitive, kind of a clinch fest.
Yeah, they were up on each other the whole fight.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Kaufman
To be
absolutely.
honest, I'm really just looking forward to watching Kayla Harrison and Sarah Kaufman fight each other.
Yeah.
Like, I have to have that fight.
Yeah, because I mean the Dalziel and Fabian, and then the first two fights they were not too fantastic or anything. Um, and I after as this was going on, it kind of hit me, and I put it out there also. But I don't know if I like the PF. I don't like the PFL tournament style with only 8 fighters, because we're probably going to see a decent amount of rematches unless they do the finals earlier than the other one. Because it's like what, 16 for everybody else.
Yeah.
So like, I hope we don't see a lot of ridiculous rematches in this. That's my only issue here with this 8-woman tournament.
Yeah, I don't think we will.
So
I think they'll spread it out, if anything.
yeah, I hope so. Either way, though, yeah, fucking Kaufman is. I'll be stunned if she loses to somebody not named Kayla. Anything can happen in MMA, but
Yeah,
dude,
but there's definitely levels to this shit.
yeah.
And Sarah Kaufman is way up here.
I mean, Fryer didn't even know how to defend that arm triangle.
She didn't know how to defend it.
So,
But also, Kaufman is really strong, so
yeah,
she
and
got a hold of it and
just getting better, man. She's just getting better.
Yep, she's hungry.
Most underrated female fighter of all time. I still
hungry, man. She wants to prove a point.
Coming for $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna go off of just this first round, man, she's my new favorite. I mean, I gave Kayla the edge just because of all the size and the judo and all that, but I don't know, man. Kaufman, X Factor. She just has so many.
Yep.
So
I think it's the experience. The experience outweighs the talent in a tournament like this.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But if we're gonna segue on and get in before we get to the upcoming fights, we also had submission grappling 8 over the weekend. Are we done with PFL before I go on?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. And we had some tag team action, and in one of those bouts,
team back again.
Tag teams, yeah. Team SPG took on Team Combat Athletics Academy, and on Team SPG we had Amanda Lowen, black belt, Oregon's first female black belt, apparently. And boy, oh boy, did she steal the whole show of that night for me. And I just think you can't say she didn't steal it overall. Team SPG got a 6-1 victory. All 6 of those submissions were from Amanda Lowen. She scored an armbar within 8 seconds.
So quick.
Very, very fast, obviously. But to put this into perspective, she had 6 submissions. The two tag team matches that happened before this had a combined 2 submissions go down. There was a 2-0 win and then a 0-0 match. She scored 6, tripled 2 teams all by herself, carried her team to victory. She got, here, I have it listed here. She had that armbar, kick things off. And then she had 2 rear naked chokes, a guillotine, a heel hook, and another armbar. I mean, holy fuck, dude. She essentially, every single time she was tagged in, she got a submission. It's like she only tagged out to get a break. I mean, holy fuck, dude. This chick is absolutely somebody to watch. I think that, at featherweight, this is somebody that they need in the division. 3-0 as an amateur. She's only been fighting in Portland, Rumble at the Roseland, I believe. She just won the title in February, so she's still an active MMA fighter. Will be exciting to see when she goes pro. Somebody Invicta should keep their eyes on if she's going to make a debut. I mean, either at bantamweight or featherweight, dude, that's a prospect right there. And if you did not see Submission Grappling 8, Sug 8, on Fight Pass, go and watch it just for this match, because you'll be blown away by fucking Lowen's dominance. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I agree. She was pretty badass. I mean, she, like you said, she just took over that whole match.
Yeah, back was sore after carrying her teammate Melissa. I forget her last name, but yeah, SBG. There you go.
That's cool. All right, so coming this week, we have a few fights, 3 of them. We'll start with the one championship, Enter the Dragon, which is Friday night for Pacific time. That's you and I, Drake, and then
Friday morning.
is it Friday morning?
Main card starts at 4 a.m., I believe.
Friday morning card then. Shit.
Yeah.
We switched the timing because it's Singapore.
Yes. Yeah, because it's actually Saturday then for them. Saturday evening or something.
Yep. All right, so Mei Yamaguchi is fighting Laura Bailin. Yamaguchi's back.
Yamaguchi is back so fast. I didn't even realize she was back so quick.
Yep, that was a quick turnaround.
Because she fought on a new era in March.
Mm-hmm.
Took out Lachkova by armbar in round 3. Really classic Yamaguchi win in that one. Put her on a 2-fight winning streak now. Since losing to Angela Lee in her second title shot, I believe. Either way, yeah, it's just so quick that I saw her do an interview with shout out to John Ko. John, shout out to Asian John, as he likes to be called. Your former colleague and my colleague at the Body Lock, Kumite TV. Shout out to him.
I was like, who are you talking about?
John Ko. I don't know how to say.
I understood like what you were saying. I was like, wait, who
JHK. He did an interview with her, and I thought it was just for after the last fight, but no, I guess it was for this one. So yeah, Yamaguchi back. Interesting matchup because Yamaguchi's in a really weird spot because we knew that if Lachkova beat her, Lachkova was getting title shot. Angela Lee doesn't have anybody to fight right now. She's beating everybody. The only fight that makes sense for Angela Lee, just to talk about her, is a rematch with Zhang Jingnan at atomweight for the atomweight title. Most likely going to happen next. That's what Zhang wants. Yeah, I can't imagine Lee doesn't want to run that back too.
Of course, Lee wants that fight.
Yeah, I mean, geez, and what a fucking amazing fight that was. Fight of the year candidate for me. And I assume some others who saw it.
Lee could have fucking won that fight.
Yeah, but yeah, and then Laura Bailin here, a former strawweight title contender against Zhang, dropping down to atomweight now, which is 115 in 1. So here we are, and she's looking to rebound off of an Americana loss in the first round to Ayaka Miura in February. So this will be interesting, but Yamaguchi, one of those people who I feel like the unfinishable Yamaguchi, that I always have to mention because that's amazing. Such an amazing stat. Her experience, her experience is just
getting beat up or subbed.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen.
It does not. But as for the matchup, her experience is just such a huge factor against everybody she fights.
Literally everybody.
Yeah, fucking OG status. It'll be interesting to see Bailin at atomweight, but I don't know. It's just hard to go against Yamaguchi here.
Yeah.
Against most people not named Angela Lee. Even though I understood the Lachkova pick, that you picked her last time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she'll be better. I just feel like maybe Bailin will be better at a lower weight, but I feel like we're in that era now where it's the opposite. Weight cutting, not weight cutting, is the new thing that's working. So like, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll see a new Bailin. Maybe she'll rebound impressively, but I mean, that's not what you do against Yamaguchi. It's either you get a win.
It's a tough fight.
You don't win impressively usually against Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi's given Angela Lee her hardest fights before Zhang, obviously. So I mean, you just don't look too great against Yamaguchi. And for that reason, it's not impossible, but really hard to pick against Yamaguchi here. Yeah, I think it'll be kind of a vintage performance, kind of ground heavy, grappling heavy. Bailin's been submitted in most of her losses, I believe.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I know the last one, and then
I think it's going to be a tough night for Balin, to be honest. I mean, May Yamaguchi is really fucking good, man.
yeah, and gets it done despite her size, because she's still very small, very small for 115 pounds.
She is, but
But
she's quick and flexible. So
yes, without a doubt.
That's what helps her on the ground. And
Yeah,
this is the perfect opponent for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with all that in mind, I think Yamaguchi probably round 3 submission again, just like with Lachkova.
Yeah, I think it probably goes like round 2 or 3.
Yeah.
There should be a submission there, though.
Yeah. But it won't be happening to Yamaguchi. If she loses, it'll be a decision.
Jesus. Could you imagine if she got like knocked out or subbed or something?
Historic moment. I mean, it technically would be.
It would be, because it doesn't happen to her.
Never happened. Yeah.
All right, so UFC Rochester is on Saturday. Aspen Ladd and Sijara Eubanks.
The rematch.
A really good fight. A really fun fight.
Yeah, this it's definitely a lot more exciting here the second time around. A lot has happened since then. After Sarge lost that first fight, she jumped down to the Ultimate Fighter, went to 125, went back to 125, and then Ladd's kind of slowly, made her way up to the top now.
This was supposed to be a Holly Holm fight.
Yes, this was supposed to be Ladd versus Holm. Why'd you have to remind me? Fucking sad. I wish that was still happening.
No.
Anyways, we have this one now. I know, what a fucking bummer. And she's not even on the main card. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's on ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
Literally doesn't matter.
The whole card is on ESPN Plus, right?
Yeah, and they do it where it transitions now, so we don't have to fucking jump out of stuff. It just goes right through, which is very nice.
Yeah.
But yes.
For those of us that actually subscribe.
Yeah, for those who watch and not stream. It's a tough one. I mean, I think obviously Sijara has a much better chance this second time around. She's improved a lot since that first fight.
Definitely has.
Still a black belt on the ground. That hasn't gone anywhere, even though Ladd was still able to neutralize it. Sijara's gotten a lot better on the feet. I think it'll come down to really if she can defend Ladd's takedowns, because that was pretty much the story of the first fight. Ladd just kind of just controlled her. I don't want to say dominated exactly, because surprisingly, like at this time, well, still even it might be Ladd. The only person she hasn't finished might be Eubanks. I'm going to take a quick look here. Yeah, yep. Sarge is the only person she has not finished in 7 fights. So that's impressive in its own right. So I think the story will be if Sijara can keep it on the feet, because in that case, I think she should be able to definitely have her most success kind of out. We haven't seen Ladd on the feet that much, honestly, right? I mean, in 7 fights, she's kind of bread and butter.
Yep.
She's kind of bread and butter, which is very, very good bread and butter. She's very good at what she does.
Very good.
So it's kind of, I mean, obviously not Khabib level, but if you're going to say someone who's really dominant at what they do, Ladd's one of those people. So yeah, I just think that's kind of the basic story of this. Sijara keeps it on the feet. She's going to have some success. She can win without a doubt. Either way, I think she's getting taken out at least once or twice. She's going to be in some trouble in areas, but for how long? It's going to be a timing thing. And then, yeah, if Ladd can keep her down, she'll win. It's pretty cut and dry for me.
Yeah. So do you have Eubanks winning, or do you have Ladd winning?
I think Ladd's too good at what she does. I think she'll get it again. She's going to keep on keeping on.
I think so too.
Another decision, though. I don't think she'll finish her.
Yeah, she's going to be a tough finish. Eubanks will be. But I do think that Aspen Ladd is on the quick rise. I mean, that's why they matched her up against Holly Holm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really are getting behind Aspen Ladd, and there's perfectly good reason for it. He's shown a lot of skill.
Yeah. I mean, you don't just beat up Tanya Evinger in like 2 minutes.
Right.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely earned the hype, the quiet hype. It's really not too loud with her.
No, not at all. I mean, she doesn't hype herself up, so
Yeah.
she isn't that type of fighter. And surprisingly, Eubanks has been really quiet through this fight camp.
Yeah, and when she has talked, it's been very realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she understands kind of position, leaving flyweight and all that stuff. She was getting a little bit of shit for that whole title situation, which was understandable. We talked about it when that was going down. It was very understandable for her to be saying the stuff she was and all the crazy shit that was going down. But now we're here, completely different circumstances. So, yeah, man, a win for Sajar is obviously bigger than it is for Ladd. I think that just goes without saying, considering the rankings at bantamweight and all that. Ladd's top 5 at the moment. I don't know if she is in the UFC's rankings, but I think in mine she's probably like 4 or 5 in most people's. But yeah, another Ladd UD, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, she's ready.
Yeah,
She's ready for the tough fights now, and I think this is really the beginning for.
Yep, I agree.
Speaking of tough fights, Megan Anderson and Felicia Spencer.
Dude, now that it's kind of took a while for this to kick in for me, like for me to get excited about it, which is really weird because I like both fighters a lot, and Megan's my girl. But yeah, I don't know. Now that it's here, I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna go down. I think this is gonna be it's gonna be a big fight for featherweight, man. I mean, really, I'd be surprised if it's not kind of a divisional classic. That one that really helps put the division on the map. Like I was comparing it to if Felicia versus Sorensen was in the UFC, that fight would have got a lot of eyeballs on it. Like as it was happening, people were like, yo, check this shit out. Be a very similar feel to that one. But yeah, as a fight, this was going to happen at some point, baby. And here we are.
Yeah. And to be honest, they've been really respectful of each other too.
Yeah. Which was a tiny bit surprising.
Right.
I mean, a tiny bit, not like they hated each other or anything, but
there was a little bit of chippiness between the two.
Yeah, I mean, Felicia saying she'll finish what Holly couldn't or whatever. You think some people hold on to that, but yeah, no, Megan's just kind of all business this time around.
No, I mean, I think that Megan probably has something to prove.
Yeah. Well, man, I mean, if we're gonna do 2 shameless plugs this week again, all right. Check out my recent chat with Megan, bjben.com. Megan Anderson and the Featherweight Torch. She said that the win over Kat Zingano, she didn't really get to celebrate it because of how weird it was.
Yeah,
I was technically a win, but it doesn't feel like a win to her. That's what she said. Totally get it. I mean, it was a 61-second eye poke win. That's what it was, just to be honest, which is just a hard thing, especially for your first UFC win, like officially. That's what you're getting. She's still looking for that. You said that chip, right? She's got that chip on her shoulder. Going to try and go out here, prove. And also, the thing is, they're doing this to put on a show. They're also looking to put on a show for the division, showcase the division as well as themselves. Both of these chicks are featherweights. This is the first natural featherweight fight. The 10th fight in UFC history at women's featherweight. These two are actual legit featherweights, not going anywhere, which is a big deal. And it's going to be a fucking great fight, great matchup. Felicia, the more well-rounded fighter, I think is fair to say. She's got a lot of her fights. She usually wins on the ground, even though she's a black belt in Taekwondo. But kind of in her last 2 fights specifically, I think she's looked a little bit sloppy on the feet. And Megan, that's her specialty. She's a fucking assassin on the feet, which and her weakness has shown to be the the grappling. So that's something she's always working on, looking to get better at it. Pam defended very well for the most part. Obviously, there were some troubling positions that Pam got into against Felicia, but as the fight went on, she did better. So, yeah, I mean, obviously Megan will want to keep this on the feet, and I think that's where the fight will be its most fun. It might be kind of stally with Megan just straight up defending from Felicia, like in takedown exchanges when Felicia wants to take it there, because Megan's gonna just wants to do her thing on the feet, which makes sense. That's where she's amazing at. So yeah, it's gonna be real good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty damn high on Felicia Spencer.
Yeah,
I don't, that, but
rightfully so.
I think people should know that too now. But by now, if they're watching and listening to us, every fight that she's fought, I've been really high on her, and I think this is her showcase fight for her. This is, like you said, this is for the flyweight.
Featherweight.
Sorry, for the featherweight, for the featherweight division. She's already a champion in Invicta.
Yeah, man, the last two featherweight champs going at it.
Yeah.
So I mean, and they got a good spot too towards the end. I mean, people will be seeing this, dude. It's gonna be, man, and it's kind of crazy, that I didn't think it would be her debut. I mean, we all knew it was gonna happen.
It's a tough debut. It's a legit tough debut for her.
Yeah, but I don't want to say that she's not ready though. I think she's definitely ready.
I think she's, yeah.
But that said, I don't know. I think Megan's just on such a mission after every single situation that she goes through, because her career, man, it's been kind of a wild ride, like especially in the recent years, just all these things are really just fucking grinding her into a monster that she already is a monster, but like just going to keep getting better and better. And I think that it's about to come out big time in front of the UFC audience. I think Felicia's definitely going to have moments of success, but yeah, man, I think this is another one of those cases where it's Megan's fight to lose. And that saying always confuses the shit out of me. It always sounds wrong. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's going to be really fun, dude. I'm excited for it. I hope that they do that. Even though I'm a big Megan supporter, and I do like Felicia as well. I've interviewed her before. Third shameless plug. I didn't mean to do that, honestly. But, that was an old one. But I want her to do good too, because this, most importantly, is for the featherweight division. So if they both look good, everybody wins.
Yeah.
No matter who actually wins, everybody wins if they put up a great fight, if it's a really fun fight. But in the end, I'm going to take Megan in round 2 with the TKO.
Yes. Okay. I'm not. I'm taking Felicia Spencer. Not that I don't like Megan Anderson. There's not something that I think she needs to work on, and Felicia's like so much better, because they're both really like, this is a really evenly matched fight to me. I think probably Felicia's better on the ground, but I think Megan is better on the feet.
Yeah.
So if Megan keeps it on the feet, then it's her fight. If Felicia takes it to the ground, it's going to be really hard for Megan to win. I think Felicia eventually wears Megan down, and she takes it to the ground, and then she finishes the fight on the ground. She's tough. Once she gets it to the ground, she is tough. She's a beast.
I was just going to say, Felicia's very heavy on top.
Yes.
She's very heavy with her grappling. But even then, like, I look back at the Pam fight, and it's interesting you say the wearing down. I think that if anybody would get worn down, it would be Felicia. We've never seen Megan really get worn down. Even in the Holly fight, she didn't really tire at any point. At least I don't think. I mean, obviously she got, controlled very well. But looking at the Pam Sorensen fight with Felicia in her last fight, I think Felicia faded a bit as the fight went on, even though she still won.
But I mean, also that's Pam Sorensen.
Yeah, I mean, what are you saying?
Saying that Pam Sorensen's fucking a very great fighter.
Yeah, she's definitely underrated too.
Yeah.
And that was also probably the best shape Pam's ever been in. That was just
God, Pam needs to fight.
yeah, I know she definitely
It's been a
deserves
while.
it too. Yeah, give some love to Pam. But yeah, just if I'm gonna go off of that one, which is a recent example and probably the most a fight that the fight in Felicia's career, her undefeated career, that she's had the most struggles in, even though she still looked great in that one. I think I probably gave her definitely round 1 a 10-8 because she was on Pam's back like that whole round. And then round 3, that was such a crazy fight, dude, because I know that I gave Pam a 10-8 and then a Felicia a 10-8.
10-8.
I think it was round 1, 10-8 Felicia, round 2, 10-9 Felicia, round 3, 10-8 Pam, and then round 4 was like kind of up in the air until she got caught in that rear naked. That fight was nuts, man. I should rewatch that one. That was a good one. But
they should honestly run that fight back.
Yeah, that'd be
in
really
UFC
fun.
this time.
That'd be cool. Yeah, if Felicia loses,
I think that fight instead of Megan Anderson for Felicia. Should have just made that fight.
Just rematch it. Yeah. But I don't know. If I'm gonna go off of that one, I feel like Felicia more faded a little bit despite the late victory.
It's not a 5-round fight though; it's a 3-round.
I know. So that definitely helps. So yeah, I mean, super interesting, dude. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Point is, I don't see Megan fading no matter what happens in this one. But I understand the strategic choice you're taking. Not crazy.
It's not strategy. It's just like how I see the fight going, and I think that
I remember though when Felicia fucking called out Megan, you were like, "Man, she'd probably lose." I can go and pull that up.
I did. I still think like, fuck, Megan could catch her. I mean, she caught Kat with a.
She got Holly in like 30 seconds.
Yeah. It's like it. She's very good. Megan is very good.
And she's got a lot of length on Felicia too.
Yes.
So.
Yes. But then also.
That's why Felicia needs to get inside.
Felicia has that, that body.
Yeah.
She can body Megan up a little bit.
Yeah, man, it's good. I wish that this was co-main. Just for maximum exposure purposes, Yeah.
I mean, but it's like the third from the top, right?
On Wikipedia they haven't moved there because originally it was prelim headliner. I hate saying that, but it was the last prelim fight, which doesn't matter on ESPN Plus. And then they moved it to the third fight from the start of the main card, so like 1, 2, then there it is. But then Neil Magny went out, and now that's Luque isn't the co-main anymore. It's Shoeface and Heinisch. And so now they're right before co-main, which that if you're not going to get co-main, that's the best spot, obviously. So
it's a good spot. It's a good fight. You and I are both picking differently, which doesn't happen.
Yeah, not too often.
Not often.
But love both fighters, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just, like you said, it's good for the division.
That's the biggest thing about this fight is 2 of the best featherweights in the world.
The best for the division.
Yeah. So very excited for that. Very, very excited.
Yeah. All right. So that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching Drake and I this week. Come back. Hit us up on Twitter. Find us. Talk to us about any fights. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be women's fights. It can be men's fights too. Where we talk about those.
We're not sexist.
We talk about those too. So thank you for watching us. Have fun watching the fights this weekend.
Peace.